Welcome to Between Three Witches, where we talk about witchcraft in plain sight, everyday magic lived honestly, and it's hosted by three witches: me, Gail the Witch Next Door,
Me, Vicky, the Wheelie Green Witch.
And me, Anon, the anonymous witch.
We all walk different paths with different levels of experience, but we share a deep respect for the craft as it is actually practiced, and not the dramatised version that people expect. Today's episode dives into a topic that we keep getting asked: who the hell are you lot? So today we are going to interview each other and share some insights on our practice and our history. But before we get into all that, how have we all been? What have we been up to?
I am loving this weather.
I
Wow, a
know.
beautiful bit of sunshine, and you just get so much energy. It's gorgeous. And it's like, what, a week or two away now, and we're in the festival?
And for those that don't know, we are all going to the Witch and Pagan Festival in Coventry, which is hosted and ran by the Coven of Gaia and many other covens, in fact. But the Coven of Gaia are the lead host, and it's all a not-for-profit as well. So it all gets donated to charity. But all of the witches come together, and all of the pagans and all of the Vikings, and everybody can be as weird and wonderful as they want to be for a weekend, which is incredible. So yes, we
Oh,
have. Hopefully the weather sticks then, Anon, as well. Be
I love
lovely
a
to have
good
some sun.
Viking.
You are going to be, there's a whole Viking village, and then they do Viking fights at lunchtime.
Oh, no,
Um,
see, if I go missing, I'll be with them, right?
right. We're finding the Viking village. Well, I'm glad you're good. Yeah, the weather is immense, and I've had a really funny weekend. I've had a really amazing weekend. I went to do my drumming circle in Avebury, which is my second home at the moment. I'm so connected to that land there, and it's the largest stone circle in the world, and it's just incredible energy. And I get to go and share that space with other women. But I did go this week with a bit of a heavy heart. You two both know this, but I haven't shared it on social media. But on Friday, I found a little mouse on my way back from the shop, and I was trying to save the mouse and make a little home for it and find the right food, and it died, and I absolutely broke my heart. I mean, I cried so much on Friday night. It was unbearable. Like, it was just pure ugly crying, and then that carried over onto or into even the drumming circle, and everybody was so joyous and happy to be there. The sun was shining, and when you sit in community like that, you have a sharing moment, and there was me, ugly crying, sobbing, when you can't get your words out because there was so much tears. But we are spreading my brother's ashes this weekend, so I think the symbology of me not being able to save that mouse ran very deep, cut very harsh. So yes, not a lovely tale to tell for my weekend, but there was
Oh,
lots of
bless
tears.
you.
But do you know what? It's so important, I guess, just to share. We are so, as humans, so used to apologizing or shying away from emotions, and they are all so valid. And even I have to remind myself that sitting there sobbing and crying, emotional wreck, is absolutely as good as me feeling joy and happy or sad or anger. So I do embrace it, even though it feels, like that horrible pain in the back of your throat. And we were holding it's a little owl that we share. So you hold it and you talk. It was just covered in my snot and tears, and I had to hand it to the woman next to me. But thankfully I've met her before, and she's like, "Do you want a hug?" I'm like, "Not now." When you just can't hug, just don't hug me because I'll never stop. But I did feel so much better. And then we went out and danced around the stones and chanted and sang, and yeah, it was incredible. So yes, there was a lot of emotion this weekend, but I also had a really amazing time, and those moments just bring me back to myself a little bit and make me feel into my humanness. So Vicky, how was your
Yes.
weekend?
My
No
weekend
pressure.
was my weekend was better than yours, I think.
Hey,
No.
don't take away from my sadness.
All those emotions. My weekend, yeah, it was good. Lots of planting up of all the veggies. All the tomatoes are all planted up, courgettes and squash and all that good stuff. So the garden's well on the way, and I have completed the first pass edit on my book. So
No.
I know it's been
Exciting.
a long time coming, and I have completed the first pass. So, yay!
Excellent.
But I know this is the episode where we're going to ask each other questions. But my first question is, what do you do
Uh-oh.
with no? But what do you do with all the veg? Like, are me and Anonymous getting? Are we getting a box sent to us at the end of the season? Because it's you must have too much.
You can have a box. We grow a lot, or I grow a lot. I'm vegetarian anyway, so that helps. It gets shared amongst friends and families. Some of it gets stored. The veg basically sees me through for the whole year.
Wow. So
Yeah,
pretty self-sufficient
pretty
food-wise then.
self-sufficient. Yeah. It doesn't. I'm not self-sufficient for hubby, obviously, because he eats meat. But
I was literally about to say, how does the husband deal with eating squash for breakfast?
he doesn't eat the squash for breakfast. He. Yeah, it's but he doesn't mind. He doesn't mind the spuds and
Yeah.
the brassicas and stuff like that. So he kind of has his section. I have my weird and wonderful section, and then as soon as it starts harvesting, everything starts getting canned and sauces and all sorts of things. We start preserving it. So
Oh, I can't wait to get my veg box. And you, Anon. We'll have to
Yes, I like a good veg box, thank
have
you.
a good
yeah,
veg box. Yeah,
mate.
we give them
Yeah,
away
mate.
most week on when it starts harvesting. We actually give away sort of a lot. We give away a hell of a lot to local people as well. So
That segues us nicely into then. Let's question Vicky. So today
yeah,
we're going to get to the bones of what type of witch you are and hopefully what type of person you are as well. I mean, we've all come to this podcast and I'm just bloody everywhere, I feel like at this point. Everybody knows. But I guess there's elements of wow, we'll see. I think Vicky and I are both nervous about Anon's questions because she's
we're
been very
very nervous.
excited about this episode. So Anon, do you want to ask Vicky the first question?
Yes, please. Did you have or do you have any fear connected to witchcraft?
At all, I use a lot of folk craft. It's very, very traditional, and the stuff that is a bit more in depth, I'm really used to doing. It's not something new that I've gone into. There was fear to start off with, and I think that actually being a little bit nervous sometimes just makes you a little bit more aware, and that's actually not a bad thing. You should always be pushing yourself. So,
How
so
did you navigate that then when you were younger with a little bit of that fear? Was it a case of, no, continue to do this, I've got this, or did you seek support from family or?
I was seen, yeah. So I was seen through it when I was much younger, and I don't mean child, but when I was much younger, sort of late teens, early 20s, I found it very, very difficult. I pick up on spirit a lot. I wouldn't say I'm a medium because that isn't where I go with things. However, I do tend to dream certain dreams, and I do pick up on spirit a lot. And I wasn't comfortable with that, and so I was taught by an aunt how to block that out, and I was actually protected until I was ready. So, and then it was just a case of gently going into it with a little bit of guidance. So,
I've got a question about that actually, so you must be psychic, Vic. So you've spoken previously about your experiences with hearing a voice when your husband was very unwell
yes,
before. So what was your first experience with the spiritual realm?
I must have been probably about 3 or 4 years old. And I would see people who were in the house who I thought were normal. They weren't pretend friends. Um, I would see who had been there before. I would just say, "Oh, so and so's here. The old man's here." Yeah, yeah. I would see people. I would hear people. That I must have been 3 or 4ish.
Reminds me of Sixth Sense. I see dead people.
It is. It was a little bit. I see dead. I didn't know they were dead at the time. I thought they were around about. I couldn't work out why other people didn't see them.
And did you talk to other people at the time and say to your parents or your
Yeah, I thought
siblings?
it was totally normal.
Oh, do you see? Oh, see that guy over there? See him waving at us.
Yeah, the
Like,
interesting
oh,
thing
Vic is
is, my
being weird again.
it was well. The interesting thing
Oh,
is, my sister used to do it as well. Her earliest example was that she saw somebody walking towards her in a car park and then just completely disappear, just fade out, just disappear. So yeah, both our sisters were very much like it. Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I've never really had experiences like that. So you don't need to ask me that question. Um,
It's not my most comfortable thing in the world, but
What, talking about it or?
generally do it. I'm used to it now. I am used to it now. So I just have a chat with them. That's fine. Um, but it did take me a long time to get used to it.
yeah, and I think we can put blockers up, can't we?
Yeah.
I know
Yes.
specific people, and I think I do the same as well because I go, actually, I'm not open to that level of communication. But if I wanted to be, I know it's possible. But you've always just been accepting of it, it sounds like.
Mostly until it became uncomfortable. And then, yes, absolutely protected myself from it, blocked it out,
Yeah.
um, and then sort of came back more into it a little bit, just being a little bit older and understanding a bit better, really.
I've got a very serious question to ask.
Okay.
If your craft had a warning label, what would it say?
ADHD. Oh, I'm a bit skitsy sometimes.
It's a bit all over the place.
Bit all over the place, yeah.
Warning, it can be a bit all over the place. I love that. When do you then, Vicky, feel like your most witchy self when you're not even trying?
Usually when I'm painting or I'm in the garden. That's my me time. That's who I am. Or when I'm writing actually these days. But yeah, yeah. So when I'm doing something creative, that's what I'd say. If I'm creating something, working
Yeah.
with the land, creating something from nothing, that's my probably my worst, my wo no, my most, my most,
Ah, my worst, my
my most witchy time.
But this part of the year must be your favorite time then, because
Absolutely love it.
yeah, I was gonna say
Absolutely love it.
spring must be your time.
The listeners may associate you as the green witch, someone who is drawn to nature. Do you ask for permission when collecting or harvesting plants for workings? And if you do, how do you respond if they say no?
Oh, I like this. The answer is yes, I do. And I do that with the vegetables I grow as well, actually. Always have a little chat with them first, always ask permission. And you pick up on whether they want to or not. Does that make sense? They'll either be quite happy to or not. If they say no, that's absolutely fine, then they get left. So if there is a tomato that doesn't want to be picked, this is really weird, isn't it? But if there is a tomato that doesn't want to be picked, that's absolutely fine. It will stay on the plant.
But
So
whenever
how,
you say that, you have to remember you're already speaking to weirdos.
I
Like, so
know,
it's not weird.
but
We
it
are
does
yeah,
the weird.
sound really weird
We
when you
are the
say it out loud.
weirdos, mister.
how would you try and describe that as for somebody to try and understand? Is it learning what your yes or your no is? Is it tuning into your intuition? Is it touching the plant and feeling some kind of energy? How would you try and define that for someone very new?
Okay, so I always touch the plant. When I ask, I always touch the plant. And what I look for a yes is a very settled, very calm feeling in my chest. If it feels janky at all, if it feels like, I don't know, I suddenly get distracted or it feels slightly uneasy, then that's my no.
And that is so important, actually. I do teach this I've done it a number of times in courses I've done on Patreon, in my one-to-ones. Because this is one of those things that people really struggle to understand, like what their yes and no is, like Anon said, but
Yeah,
also what that feels like. And it's about, like you articulated, coming back to how it feels in your body. So for you, it's the chest and it's like a janky feeling, like you said. But for somebody else, it could be you could feel it in your head or in your stomach or in your back. So understanding what that means for you, is it in your yes or no, is
absolutely. And that will be different for every single person.
yeah.
Yeah.
But because you're an old witch, you know
I am
exactly where it is for you.
I'm very old. I'm very old. Yes. Yeah, for me, if it feels tingly, janky, I'm starting to look at other stuff, or I'm getting distracted, or I just get a bit of an uneasy feeling about it. If it's a no, for
I
me,
don't think I've ever
it's
even
very
heard the
settled.
word janky before, but I want to use it.
Use it's a great word,
It is. It's a
janky.
great word. Okay, I'm sorry, but if you could only work with one plant for the rest of your practice, what would it be and why?
Oh,
Oh,
do I only get one?
This is the name of the game.
Okay.
One plant for the rest of your practice, but why? I think I might know the answer to this.
Ivy.
I don't know the answer to
Did
this.
you think I was going to say wormwood? I like wormwood
Well,
a lot.
I thought rue, and then I thought you might say moss.
Okay, well, if I was allowed more, I would
No,
probably rue I love, wormwood I
well, you
love
don't.
moss.
You like ivy.
But
You don't. You've just
I think
ditched them.
ivy. If I had to only pick one, ivy. Um, very boundary setting. It's got a lovely energy towards me. It really calms me down. Yeah, it's great.
And it's evergreen.
It's evergreen. It stays there. It's all over the place. Can't get rid of it.
Can't get
and
rid
it's
of it.
connected to fairies.
Oh, yes. Yes, it is.
Oh, I didn't know that,
It's
but
in
it does
my
make sense.
yeah,
It
and
does
it's
make
in my
sense.
little sort of bit that I mean I don't really work with fairies, but they do have I have a witch area and ivy's all around it. So
Yeah, I don't work with fairies either, but more recently, fairies aren't popping up, but the me having to learn about fairies seems to be more prevalent. So I'm blaming Anon for this because I feel like she's sending them to teach us stuff.
yes,
No,
I go on, Anna. Go
There's
on,
that
Anna.
witchy laugh again.
no, I'll only send them if I get permission. You both know that.
Well,
We do,
something's
and they're
trying to
lovely.
drag me into my education of fairies, that's for sure.
They
Go
don't
on then.
listen to me anyway.
I couldn't understand why. I've got no clear understanding of that.
So you have spoken quite a lot so far about little facts that we didn't know, but give the listeners a fact about you that we are not aware of about your craft
About my craft.
that you feel comfortable in speaking about.
I think it's probably that I work in balance, but I'm very comfortable working on the, for want of a better word, the darker side of things. So I wouldn't say I'm a bad witch or a black witch or anything else. I keep it very balanced. However, the slightly more oomphy side of things, I'm very comfortable with. Yeah, yeah, I will use it when I need to, and it doesn't bother me at all.
And I love that because I guess from the outside, people look at your practice and go, right, there she is, planting away, working with plant energy, being a guidance and a teacher. But the reality is we've all got private parts of our practice. Whether we call them dark or black, it's really difficult,
It's
isn't it?
very
But for
difficult to
people to
explain, isn't it?
understand,
Yeah.
like you say, there's another side to witchcraft that you're quite comfortable in sitting with because you've been doing it for long enough is really interesting.
Yeah, and it's
But
not
it's
something
also
I
private, right? It's also part of your private practice.
yeah, and I think when I'm on social platforms, I wouldn't necessarily go and teach that, because you don't know who's newer or remembering or coming into the craft. And so that would be irresponsible of me, just to go, here, let's go do that.
Do you think you'd ever teach it?
Yes. With the right person, on a one-to-one basis, I could probably help, or I'd not, I could probably help. I could probably be comfortable mentoring, if that
Why,
makes
why,
sense. I
yeah,
wouldn't
but
necessarily
why is there hesitation? Is it because it's personal, or
a
is it
lot
because you'd have to really trust that that practitioner understands what they're working with?
both,
Okay.
both. Number one, a lot of what I do is personal, and number two, yeah, I'd like to know. I'd like to be able to trust that somebody is anyone ever actually ready? Probably
Mm.
not. But I'd like to know that they'd actually have some respectful understanding of where this could lead to, so they don't go just fully down it, so they keep that balance.
How did you get into that? Was it self-education or did you get walked
Uh,
through it as well?
a little bit of both. A little bit of both. I was given some of the basics, I was spoken to about some of it, and then it's off you go, sunshine, go learn. So
Many mistakes.
loads. Absolutely loads. Yes, it was completely perfect all the time. Never went
No,
wrong.
but
No,
isn't
but
that interesting that you wouldn't want to guide somebody unless they were ready, but you had to learn those lessons in order to be as proficient as you are. I'm
I know
not
it's
psychoanalyzing you, and I don't mean to, but I just
not that I'm a control freak. No,
no, it's just interesting. Like you'd go, oh, I don't want to teach somebody because just in case they're not ready, but you weren't ready.
I
And
wasn't
look,
ready.
look
And
how this made you. Yeah.
I think that's the thing, isn't it? You just go through the all you can really do is go through the basics and maybe answer questions when they come up. But at the end of the day, if something goes wrong, you're going to be the one that has to get yourself out of it.
Yeah.
So when I say ready, I think it's more maybe are they ready to not completely freak to get themselves out of something
Hmm.
rather than ready, are you ready to learn that? Does
Yeah,
that makes more
it
sense?
does.
I think
Yeah.
you'd be an amazing mentor or teacher. You've just got that air about you.
Yeah,
You just
I
seem to
agree.
have like a lot of patience for someone.
Oh, thank you. I think that's really nice. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've mentored artists that so you have to have a lot of patience and not tell people exactly what to do as well. I've never really thought about doing that for the craft.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
Like I find that, yeah, really. I mean, I obviously my spiritual path is all about leaning into helping others find their way. Like that's where I am at the moment. That's where spirit's leading me. So I would find that crazy because it feels really natural to me. But maybe now is not the right time, but maybe there will come a time.
maybe when the book is out and published, and maybe I'll get time. But
Yes.
Exactly. Okay, next question. Where do you personally draw the line in witchcraft?
on what?
There's the line. There's a
But
line.
is there a line for everything?
I don't know, Miss Balance.
I was going to say, well, my line is balance. So the line on anything. Just keeping a sensible, level head on most things.
No, but is so
Okay,
is there an
this is
is
so
that
difficult.
but is it a no though? Do you just go actually no, there is no line?
I
I'm
don't.
telling you now, my mind has gone so bad with that
I'm
question.
mine.
I'm like
I'm mine.
sacrificing babies.
Oh
You
my
know, where's the line? And Beck, and Beck is
Yeah,
like, no, there's no line.
I can't see any line. Um, I would go very careful with anybody underage of what they could actually do, know, and what direction they might be going
Oh, we're
in.
getting way too serious now with babies.
I know it's because Anon
Sacrifice.
brought it up. Um,
Cut that.
um, but no, as far as I'm concerned, there isn't a line.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Anon, I've got no doubt in my mind that you have got no line either.
Well, I'm not going to sacrifice a baby.
Well, that wasn't the line I was thinking,
Where
but
are we going with
I
this?
know. Good grief. Okay, have you got a question? Let's get away from dead sacrificing of
Yes.
infants.
Now, this is a question. Wow. Right. This is a question for both of you, actually. I'm going to spin it up a bit, but Vic gets to go first. I do see Gail's look at me then, the side eye she gave me. So, who is your favourite witch and why?
My favorite witch, me, because I'm perfect. I don't have one. I think there is a lot of good practitioners out there, and we can learn from so many different sources. I don't have a favorite. That's like asking who's your favorite child.
I've got one.
If
I
you've got
can't.
one,
Well, I don't think I've. So when we're talking about favorite witch, like historical or modern, it's so hard because I feel like I learn from everywhere. Like there's people I started learning from in the beginning and then reading from like books as well. There's so many practitioners that aren't even online and their books like are just incredible. Um Oh, that's such a tough question.
It is really difficult, isn't it? Because
It could
it
be fiction.
Oh, you like Sabrina the Teenage
it
Witch.
could it be fiction?
Yeah, it can be fiction.
Then
Oh, well,
I'm
that's a right. I'm picking a fictional.
right. I'm picking a fiction one then because
I
like
know. I want to be Grotbags. And if anybody's old enough to know who Grotbags is, that is me.
I will have Sally out of Practical Magic because she makes soaps
Oh,
out of herbs.
lush. Do you want to know mine?
Go on,
Yes.
then.
Madam Mim from Arthur, King Arthur, the Disney
Ah,
boy. Remember it?
See, but you already had that prepared. Me and Vicky were
yes.
like, who
Oh,
is
and
it?
yeah, I went straight to sort of online teachers stroke authors of the
There's
craft and
so
stuff.
many.
Actually,
There
there's
is
so
so
many.
many.
And it doesn't matter how long you've been practicing your craft, you're always going to be learning something.
Yeah.
There's somebody new all of the
Yeah,
time as well, or something new. Because I don't, like I've said before, I don't, there's no practitioner online or in life that I follow 100%. Everybody that I meet has got a different way of looking at certain aspects of it. And I love that because of the individuality. Um, but I take something from all over the place.
absolutely. And even if I disagree that with them in the sense of that wouldn't fit into my practice, I've still learned something.
So this is the would you keep or cut? Garden plants or plants found naturally in nature?
Cut the garden ones.
Oh,
Oof. Next one. Not magic or poppets?
Oh,
oh,
poppets. I have to cut poppets.
oh.
Now, I'm not sure about the next one because I actually don't know. So, the the sun or the moon?
Cut the moon.
What a
Oh.
bitch.
I know.
And last one, would you prefer to be solo or community?
Mm. Cut the community because I've always practiced solo anyway.
Oh,
Why
I
did you have to
mean,
cut? You had
you
to
But
could
caveat it.
but I like my community, so they were hard choices. Hard choices.
So, Anonymous Witch, it is your turn to be questioned. So let's see then. What would your familiar be if it wasn't an animal?
an angel.
Oh, I
Ooh,
did
that's
not
nice.
expect that answer. I thought dragon, fairy.
I
It
was
was all
going there too.
coming up.
A dragon's an animal.
You know what I meant? The awkwardness of the anonymous. It's because we can't see your face.
I know.
You get all sassy and feisty behind that camera. Okay, an angel.
Angel. Okay, my question. What is something in your craft that's small but that makes you ridiculously happy?
My inner child.
Nice.
I don't think you're in a child's that small.
I think it's quite giant. It's still
Yeah,
there.
I don't think it's that small. Just putting it out there. You've got a giant inner child.
Yes, true.
Okay, if your practice had a smell, what would it be?
Flowers.
Which
Flora.
flower? Which flower?
Wild meadow flowers.
Oh, lovely. Do you know what? I just had a whiff of that as you said it then.
You had a slight waft.
A waft of your
Just a waft.
practice. What's something that you believed early on in your practice that now you would give a bit of a side eye to?
There is this idea that there is a very dark or black form of witchcraft.
And you believed that early on?
When I was very, very young, yeah. And I think, I mentioned it with Nixie before, growing up in a small Welsh town, there wasn't much in the local library anywhere near connected to the craft. If it was primarily either Wicca based, or it was about people's idea of what the occult or Satanism kind of was. As a young teenager, I knew deep down that this can't be right. It didn't sit with me. I didn't believe it. I did question it, because in all walks of life, you get good and you get bad people. Anyway, regardless, in any form of religion, you will get good and bad people. And I think, some people can use that sense of self-inflation. I can't think of the right word of like to abuse power. And maybe there were people like that once upon a time that abused their power, but I don't believe in it.
Yeah, something you've grown into.
Yeah.
Comes back
Yeah.
to that balance again, doesn't it?
Mm.
I know you
Yeah.
guys rib me for balance, but it does come back to the balance again.
Oh, I definitely don't rib you. I think it's just all about sometimes things take time as well to understand.
Yeah.
So I think it's valid to have views that change. And I cannot wait for like 10 years time to ask myself that question again, go, what's changed? What's changed in 10 years? Do you know what I mean? Because it does,
Yeah.
doesn't it? Like our viewpoints get altered, and
Absolutely.
not necessarily the big stuff like worrying about dark magic, but maybe smaller things that I believe now will be completely altered in 10 years' time.
I think so. I think so. On that note, Anon,
Mhm.
what's a pattern, a repeating pattern that you've had to break more than once and you've not listened to yourself the first time?
Like in the bad man for a relationship, picking someone that needs fixing.
No, but do you do shadow work on that?
I don't call it shadow, I call it reflection.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's a very honest and real answer. I've I haven't grown up thinking, oh, I know, I'm going to be a single mum of 2 kids. What a wonderful idea. But I've always had this very caring nature to me. I've always been the kind of feeder, I've always been the carer. I'll fix you kind of person. And without me realizing, I think that my energy or my aura has shone for the wrong person. And I've not willingly thought, oh, I can fix this person. I've never met someone thinking, I'll fix you. But in a way, my inner mother, I guess, comes out, my inner nurturer comes out and sees something in them that perhaps no one else has seen before. And maybe I'm going to give them that chance. And I think that is absolutely interwoven in my craft as well. It's like me working with the fairies. I've heard so much negativity and about other aspects to my craft, very negative connotations. With everything, I go in as an equal, I go in on a balanced ground, and I think as I've grown, I've learnt my own boundaries over time, but I genuinely feel that was my lesson to learn.
And do you think you have learnt that? Getting very
No.
personal here. No, because
No.
well, no, but you're
Writing.
human. But you're human,
Yeah,
right? And that's the
yeah,
message. Like, as
yeah,
much as, there's no healed version of witchcraft. Nobody's there and gone, yeah, figured it all out. Fuck me, there we are. We're at the
yeah,
pinnacle of,
no,
and that's such an important
yeah.
message. So I can't wait to meet your next fuck up of a partner. Brilliant.
We've got your
I
back.
think
We'll let you
that's
know.
It's going to be a Viking. It is going to be a Viking. Watch this space. Okay, Anon, if your magic had a side effect, what would it be?
uncontrollable laughing, like proper belly laughing.
That's a good answer. I thought he was going to go shitting glitter.
No, I'll keep that for you.
Okay, talking of shitting glitter,
Oh,
what is your most toxic trait within your craft?
Oh, I think you both know.
oh my God. What?
I am very, oh, this is going to sound so fucking egotistical, but I'm going to say it because you've both seen it. I'm very, very good at remote working.
You
And
are
for people
fantastic at remote working.
and for
Yes.
people who don't understand what that means, you're not remote working from home, right? It's remote spiritual connections.
Yeah. And I like showing up in people's dreams.
I like showing up.
Well, Vicky did tell me about a personal dream she had about her husband before we went, before we
Yes.
recorded, before you joined us. So hopefully, well, I don't think it was her, right?
No, I don't think so.
You're going to turn up as me.
No.
Are you, Vic?
bold and loud. Here I am.
Riding my unicorn.
So what is that called for people who haven't heard of it before? How does that work? Is it like layman's? I mean, you don't have to go into lots of detail, but so people understand what you're talking about.
There's a few different ways that I like remote working. Number one would be in the astral realm or within dream working, where I work with my fetch and I work with my spiritual team. I also have a servitor within the astral and spiritual, the dream world. And with with remote, I can be like this now, talking to you both, and I will work with several different spirits. And I mean work, it's a collaboration. I do not demand, I don't command that they do something. That's not how I work. I'll explain the situation to them. We'll come to an agreement. A lot of the time they're biting at the bit anyway, and they will go and do what they can. I'm trying to be really polite here.
But the thing is, Anon, basically you helped me out a few weeks ago, didn't you? Because I couldn't see what on earth was going on. I was completely blocked up, and we won't go into why or whatever it was. But Anon's workings on this are really good. Really, I mean, you're so good at it. You are. You're so good. I was very
It's not
grateful.
me you have to thank, though, is it?
Well, no, we know who we have to thank, but
No, but both of you have got like gifts that you utilize for your own purposes, but you're not out there sharing those gifts or teaching others about how to use it. So maybe that's something that you could think about. Maybe not. Maybe it is for personal use, personal practice.
and I think sometimes I'm just going to jump in here, but sometimes, or maybe I'm wrong. I'm going to ask Anon. Do you think sometimes you can be so blocked up with your own goings on that you can't see what's going on, and therefore asking a friend? So I asked Anon, could you give me a hand with this? And she's there. She's there. She's like, yep, I've got it for you. And
Yeah.
the minute she said what was going on, I knew exactly. I mean, she didn't even have to tell me what was going on. I was nodding away, going, oh, that's what it is.
And I didn't even know
I love
half
that.
of it.
Well, no, that's why your spirit team help you. And Vicky's done the same for me
Yeah.
in the past as well. I was too close to something. I'm like, look, can you do some divination for me? And you did that. And that's the amazing thing about community, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
Even though
absolutely.
Vicky's cut her community, do you remember?
Oh, but that's not fair.
What in the witchcraft space really annoys you?
Honestly, my honest, unfiltered answer for you is when somebody on social media will put out their opinion on something. They haven't asked for anyone for their opinion on it, and then other people decide it's within their right to repost a person's video, be very disrespectful. I think it's one thing if you're a person on any form of social media and say, right, I need to do a bit of DIY, right? I'm looking for advice. Is this the right nail? Is this the right hammer? And so on and so forth. You're asking for opinions. You're asking for advice. We're not always going to agree with people. We're not always going to agree with everybody's opinion out there. But when you come on social media, you are releasing it potentially to the world. And then when somebody comes back and deliberately uses that video to be disparaging on someone's character, I absolutely despise that behavior. And I'm sorry, they're not welcome in my community.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying. And I think even more so in our community, like witchcraft space, the whole premise of being a witch is to be accepting of others' beliefs. Like and social media is so poor at showing that side of it. I could not agree more. There's so many people so many witches, in fact, ready to pull other witches down, and that makes no logical sense to me whatsoever. Is it for social media? Is it for clout? Is it for the drama? But whatever it is, I just wish more of those witches, before they did that or made judgment, would question why, because that's the whole point. And we're not going down the shadow work route, but it is just about, what did we say in the last episode, Vic? I think you were saying knowing yourself.
Know
Like,
yourself,
why
know
aren't
your
these
why.
people knowing themselves enough? I feel
Yeah.
angry for you now, and on, but I know what you're saying. It is really frustrating that people don't
Yeah.
know themselves enough.
I tell you what, I find it massively frustrating as well because I have no qualms whatsoever with everybody having, I practice differently, I have a different opinion or a different experience of this, but it doesn't necessarily make them correct. And to push
Yeah.
the correctness, somebody's wrong because this is how I do it, that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, now we're all angry. Right, keep or cut. Keep or cut. Quick round of keep or cut then for the anonymous witch. Quick answers, no thinking. Tarot or oracle?
Oracle.
Protection or banishing?
Banishing.
Spirits or ancestors?
Spirits.
Unicorns or fairies?
Oh no! No, I'm not answering.
They'll hear you. I understand. I
I know.
understand that they will
Yeah.
hear you.
They'll
So we
never
will.
speak to me again.
Oh, okay. Is it my turn?
It is.
Gail, it's your
In the
turn.
chair. Right, let me get comfortable.
It's the
Go
way
on
you're
then,
giggling.
bitches of Eastwick.
Right then, Gail,
Yes.
why did you choose the phrase "the witch next door"?
So for me, it's about breaking down the stigmatism surrounding the word witch. I feel really passionately about that. And that sounds like something I'm reading off of a piece of paper because it's something I say over and over again. And actually, my mum asked me this question recently, like, why did you say Gail the Witch Next Door? Because there's just somebody who's next door practicing witchcraft, and that's okay. Like, it's normal. And actually, this leans, I was in the office last week. So if any of my colleagues listen to this, one specific colleague has only just found out we've got a podcast. So I hope he hears this. But anyway, we were sat chatting and I said, we're calling Bob. I said, oh, Bob, I said, did you know I've got a podcast and social media? He said, oh, yeah. He said, no, I didn't know that. He said, but I did know that you were a witch. And I said, why are you whispering the word witch? He said, I didn't think you wanted people to know. I was like, for fuck's sake, Bob. I said, it's like me going, oh, you're gay. Or, oh, you're like, so I was just like, and this is, so then I started to get into this conversation again. Going, this is exactly why the word witch means wise woman. Well, not wise woman, wise person. I don't mean to categorize it in gender, but wise people, I believe everybody is already that. It's just whether you choose to reclaim the word. So it's a very long answer to a very short question. Why Gail the Witch Next Door? I just want to break down the stigma. I want it to be as normal as my next door neighbour, Josie next door. She's got some herbs I can have. She's got some blue candles because I ran out of blue ones. We're all living a witchcraft life. That's what my aim is to be and do.
I like that. I like that because basically pretty much everybody has a witch next door, don't they?
They just
You
don't
may
know
not
it.
know it, but you do it.
Or they might whisper witch.
Witch. Yeah.
I don't see him doing that, Bob. His name's not Bob. I was just like, for the love of, I didn't know if you wanted people to know you're a witch.
Gail, what's something that you avoid because you know it would force change?
Do you know what? There's not something, there's probably some things like regularly I have to recheck in with myself. There's a lot of emotions. Definitely.
We're having a good day today.
I'm definitely still going through quite a period of grief. I mean, as I said in my opening statement, so there's a lot of release work, banishing work that I should be doing, and I avoid it because it's heavy. It's really fucking heavy. And I'm great, like I said, I'm really good at leading people through those journeys themselves and understanding what we need to shed and get rid of in order actually to open up like possibilities. I can talk about it all day because I believe in it and I know it works. But when it comes to my own personal circumstances, a lot of that release work I avoid because it would have a considerable shift in me. And I think sometimes there's elements that I know if I release too much, it's also going to shed away the stuff that I've been holding on to for too long. And that's relationships in my life, probably, especially with family. I don't think they'll be listening to this, but if you do, what can I do? But there's a lot, right, that we hold on to. And yeah, releasing some of that stuff. And I do it regularly, but I think it's an ongoing process, honestly.
I tell you what, I mean, we all have something, at least one thing that we should all release and let go of. And we all hang on to it, don't we?
Oh,
Well, we do because it feels comfortable. And And that's part of my humanness, which I learned to accept as well. I accept that there's flaws within me that are just meant to be my life lessons. But some of it, I guess, without going too heavy, like that release work, it just feels like I'm letting go of what I'm holding on to so tightly at the moment. All of my sadness and bitterness and anger, and any part of the what we would consider negative aspects of myself are all tied into losing my brother, quite frankly. So I don't want to let it go, Vic.
No, and I think
Thanks.
that's okay at the moment. I think that's okay at the moment.
There's my anger coming out again. I don't want to.
Don't want to let go. But the human part of it, that's a big part of our practice, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a huge part, and we do have to respect that as well.
I guess that's the growth in me as well, accepting that I'm okay holding on to it. But I know that would create a significant shift, and I'd probably be living in my shed permanently if I was willing to, if I was willing to do the work, willing to let it all go. Or a van. That'd probably be me. Van life.
Van life.
I'd have dreadlocks, Hessian skirt, just permanently. Hopefully none of my colleagues are actually listening to this. Of course, I would never give up my real job. It means too much to me.
What do you do if you think one of your spells or work-ins has not worked?
Well, do you know what? More often, I was going to say more often than not, probably not more often than not, but there's a lot of times when spell work's done and I recognize I've not put the emotion, the effort, the timing. So I will question it, but I do just let it go. I know it's a favorite phrase of yours, Anon. Let it
Yeah.
go, let it go. But I won't harbor anything or redo a spell because I am quite a correspondence girl, as I've said before. So if I've timed something specifically for then and not put the energy effort in, it's going to have the desired outcome. I will let that go as well. Because the other thing for my practice is that I don't ever put timings on spells. I'm never doing anything with it. So if I don't feel like it was right in the moment, even if I just let it go, because it could be a year later. I've done spell work probably 18 months, 2 years ago. That's happening now, which is quite visible. I love it. I love it when I speak to people at work. They go, "What do you mean you're a witch?" And I go, "Well, does anything look like it's not going well for me right now? Just saying." But that was like I said, about 18 months, 2 years ago. When I put very specific, I laid the foundation for that. So, but I never expected it. I mean, of course you want everything to happen tomorrow, don't you? But I know it takes time, but I knew I put the effort in. But if there was something now, especially more lately, and I can resonate with this question because I'm so fucking busy all of the time. If I was to do any spell work right now, I'm not in the right headspace unless it was something that needed doing specifically. But there's been nothing lately that needs to. But yeah, right now I'd be rushing anything, so I just wouldn't hold on to it.
What's something that you think people overcomplicate in witchcraft?
Everything.
That was
They
a short answer.
but they overcomplicate everything. And the biggest question I get is like that fear of starting. And you know that I've done a few videos about protection magic and breaking down the barrier because what people see is fear. There's a fear-based, oh, you need to protect yourself before you do that spell. Well, what does that mean? What am I protecting myself from? And when you're very new to practicing witchcraft, the only thing that you need to be fearful of is yourself, breaking down the barriers to actually starting in the first place. Because you're not going to be doing insane spirit work or hedge walking or, communicating with different deities, or you shouldn't be anyway, because there's lots of things that you need to learn and understand before you ever go down that path. And if you do, then you'll learn that lesson very quickly. But the overcomplication is fear of starting at all. We put so many barriers in the way. Just do the work, educate yourself, but don't overcomplicate it. It doesn't need to be these big rituals. It's starting small. It really is. But everybody wants the excitement of what witchcraft can bring. And it is. The life, once you're living an authentically lived witchcraft practice, it is exciting because we all know we have the power to change anything, to do anything, to be anything that we want to be. And in the beginning, you think, right, that means you've got to do all the rituals, but it doesn't actually. Living authentically now is me going out for a walk, me doing my grounding practice, maybe a bit of meditation or a bit of yoga, stirring my intention into my coffee. And all of that, when you first start, sounds like the boring bits, but they're the important bits.
Yeah, they are. They're the parts that they're the parts, that's the daily stuff, in and out all the time. And it almost looks just like a life habit.
Do you know what? I had a one-to-one before we recorded this podcast with somebody I've been working with for quite a long time. We've gone through different levels, and I know she'll be listening to this because I know she listens to podcasts, where we started to where we're at now. And she used a phrase today about it's just part of my life. And I said,
Yay!
I absolutely love that, because that's what we've been striving to achieve. We can still focus on different aspects, and we're going to look at some glamour magic, because it's not something I talk about very often. Just to say, your witchcraft isn't a craft. Let me try and rephrase this. It isn't something you do, it's something you are. And that's exactly where she is now. You are a witch. It's not,
Beautiful.
it's witchcraft. Yeah, I love that. And I think that's the hopefully what all three of us really try to do with this podcast is make it livable, understandable, day to day, rather than fear-based.
Yeah, I tell you what, since we've been doing this podcast, I have had to break down what I do on a daily basis that's just normal for me, to be able to talk about it.
Yeah.
To be able to say, what is it I'm actually doing? I've been doing it. It's not such a long time to, put that out there, a really long time. It's so much part of who I am, how I behave, how my day is, that when we know we've got a topic coming up, I have to then think, oh, what is it I actually do? Because I think I'm just going around my daily life,
Yeah, whereas I've been doing social media so wildly for the last 18 months at least, I've got used to that a little bit, like breaking it down, because I have all of these one-to-one clients. But I guess for you and Anon, because it's been lived your whole life, like I love that question Anon asked you earlier about how do you know whether the plant wants to be picked or not, because that must be really tricky to articulate, because you've never had to. You just know.
I just know.
And
that's such a terrible answer to give anybody, isn't it? I just know. It is what it is.
So obviously you don't have to go into detail.
Oh fuck.
So it's a bit of a two-part. So number one, do you work with deities? And if so, have they remained the same throughout your pathway? Or do you meander and work with several dependent on what's needed?
I love this question because it's not something I often talk about freely.
I know.
Yes. So when I very first started, so yes, the answer is yes, I do work with deities, but not maybe in the way that it's portrayed on social media. So I don't venerate. I don't have like patron goddesses or gods, and I don't have altar spaces dedicated to deities. That's not the way that I work with deities. So I work with archetypal energy, and I educate myself fully on what a deity or what that deity represents. And then I'll use that within my magic to unblock or bring in or tap into some of the energy that they represent. So in the very start of my practice, I started working with Ganesha, but that was before I think I was even a witch. So that was more when I was just spiritual, and doing spiritual activities. And I really resonated with that Hindu archetype because of the road unblocking energy. So and I actually, one of my very early oracle decks is Ganesha, and I love it. I still love what that deity represents, but it's not part of my practice anymore. But I don't necessarily work with that deity anymore. And then I meandered and I went into Medusa land. So I went from Hindu to Greek. So interestingly, I mean, you guys can see, and I've got on my window here, I've got a whole row of Ganeshas, and then I've got a whole row of Medusa heads. So and then I've got a giant Medusa head as well that my mum brought me. So and I don't work with Medusa anymore. That was very short-lived. But it was needed at the time to give a boost, I guess. But so in terms of longer term deities, and one that I've worked with maybe now for 2 or 3 years, but again in the archetypal way, is the Morrigan. I have a whole thigh tattoo of the Morrigan, and that fierce warrior archetypal energy. Actually, I just put on the Morrigan incense as well for this. I grabbed it and I haven't done that in ages.
That's awesome.
So maybe that archetypal energy came through knowing that I was going to bring it up today. But in terms of consistency, she is the archetype that I work with the most, because there are three aspects to her that I can tap into. And then more recently, like very recently, so like I said, the Morrigan is one, and then more recently I've started not working with, but trying to understand, especially as we were going through the winter months, the Cailleach, the old hag of winter, and that transition from winter into spring. So I guess there's a meandering, but it's not like true veneration work. It's not. So when people ask me to talk about deities, I can do that. But I think their ask is very much, how do I work and venerate and hold space and give offerings? And that's not the type of work that I do. Mine's much more educational, historical, folklore, tapping into the energy of what has been, I guess, my view of deities. All of our human energies are poured into that deity to create an energy that then I can tap into as well. Not necessarily an actual being or an actual god or goddess. And I know a lot of people will not probably like that answer, but that's where I'm coming at it from. Whereas things like spirits, animals, trees, they feel much more real to me than maybe deities do.
I'm telling you, you're going to be starting working with the fairies.
I know. I can feel it. I'm not even kidding. I was thinking that today, walking the dog. I was thinking that today. I thought, why is this keep coming up? But it's that. Do you know what it? Well, I know what it is. It's because right now, and again, there's two versions. Not everybody leans into this, but Beltane for me is a very liminal thinning of the veil, much like Samhain. So the fairies going, "Hello, Gail. Hello." I know they're not doing that.
They may be.
Yeah, but then also that dryad as well. Do you, I mean, I haven't spoken about this on the podcast before, but you guys know there was a dryad following me because the woods got chopped down where I walk, and he'd been disrupted and felt protective. And I always feel him. And there's a bluebell field there. And I posted a video the other day, and somebody spotted it and sent me a picture in my comments of they put, "You're being watched," and I was like, yes, I know I'm being watched because it's the dryad up in the tree.
That's so cool.
And I know a dryad isn't fairies, but it is all of that mysticism and, like I said, the veil thinning at the moment. So something's going on.
What's the one thing, Gail, that you want people to really understand about you?
So in terms of what I want people to understand about me, I guess with my craft, I don't generally care what people think about how I practice or what it looks. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's like that. I don't give a fuck what you think. And I really cherish that about myself as well. I love that I'm a point where I'm 47 this year where I literally do not care what other people think. I
Love
adore
it.
that. But in terms of the way that I would like people to understand my practice, it's just that it's attainable, because I think there's so many practitioners out there and so many new people finding and remembering themselves, that, like that question you asked earlier, like, what are people making overcomplicated about the craft? I want to uncomplicate it. So if I wanted people to understand that, like, it's just an attainable way to live and harness and work and be. That's what I want to do. But in terms of my craft, I don't give a flying fuck what you all think. That I talk to my bones. Don't care. That I collect crystal skulls, and I know you don't like crystals, Vicky. Don't care. Well, I do care, because I don't know why you don't like crystals.
Well, it's not that I don't like them. It's just, I mean, see, that was quite nice. It's just I don't work with them that much. I've got loads around because of circumstances, not because I bought them. They came with a house. Don't ask.
They are pretty though. Oh, this is really cold, by the way. That's why I'm holding
They're
it.
they are very pretty. They're very nice. I just don't work with them that much. I
But
mean,
but asking you two, but do you two care what people think?
no, couldn't give a flying.
No.
I know Anonymous doesn't, because I mean, Vic, I know you've been off social media for a little while, but she is posting videos this week of urine on candles.
Is that what
So
I've missed?
you've missed that, yeah. I
Oh,
mean, there's other stuff.
I have, and I'm gonna have to go on to social media. The thing is, if I go on there, I'm gonna start posting, which is what I need to do. However, I have a more pressing thing going on just at this moment, so that is taking priority. So I will be back, everybody. However,
Yeah, we're not keeping you hostage anywhere.
no, I'm not locked up in the shed with the crystal skulls and bones and taxidermy. I am allowed out occasionally. However, I haven't been on social media, so I've missed what Anon has been getting up to.
Probably for the best.
Ocean or forest?
Oh, oh, I'll have to cut the ocean. Oh my God, that is so painful to say out loud.
Fire or water?
Fire. Oh no, I've said it.
That was
Fuck.
fast.
I'm cutting fire out my life. Why?
Control or surrender?
Oh, I'm cutting surrender. I need all the control.
With regard to spells, are you cutting out planning or winging it?
Oh no, I'm gonna have to cut out winging because, like I said earlier,
You need the control.
I need the planning. Yeah, and I know my spell's gonna work then because I put the effort into it.
Summer or autumn?
Summer.
Ooh.
I'm cutting summer. Not for now though. We're just this is
Can we have it for
hypothetical.
now?
No, just keep it for now because we like the summers coming.
And last one, ritual or everyday habit?
Oh, cutting ritual.
That was easy, wasn't it?
Every day, all day. Woo whoop.
I don't know if I answered right now because my answers, everything I answered was to keep.
Well, you've just got.
It doesn't matter though.
It
We've
makes
made
no
it
odds.
people cut. Yeah, I don't think it matters. I don't. So that wasn't so bad, was it, ladies? So that segues us into Come Sit With Us, our listener question for this week. It comes from Michelle and Verna, both on my Patreon. So they've asked, do we have any hints and tips for meditation and visualization techniques if you have aphantasia? I literally cannot see anything in my mind's eye when I try to meditate or visualize. Anything that is a right bugger when it comes to spell work. Have you guys got any tips?
So I happen to be a meditation guide, just in the background.
Oh, see, we didn't ask you that question. That
No,
sounds like
I've
something
got
we should know.
a whole thing going on. So if you can't visualize, try and feel your body. So feel the air coming in through your nostrils, down the back of your throat and into your chest, and feel your body move and where it moves. So does your chest move or does your stomach move? If you can feel bedding or blankets or anything on top of your legs or body, then what you can do is you can just concentrate. I'm feeling it on my toes, I'm feeling it on my ankles, up to my knees, up my legs. But you're concentrating on the actual feeling, the sensation that you're having. You could do that with running water over your hands. You could do that with holding heavy stones. Concentrate it on your actual senses rather than trying to imagine what you can't see.
Great piece of advice. Anon, have you got anything?
The only thing I would say is that for me, I find that kind of distant gaze, almost like a daydreaming, helps. So it might be doing your mundane tasks at home. It might be, and I don't want to be stereotypical with this, but folding the clothing or just wiping down the tables or the kitchen surfaces. And it's not really thinking about exactly what you're doing. It's just having something in the background, whether it be some kind of music that you're not really listening to. It could be the radio, nothing that you're paying that much attention to. And we all do it where we're sat in a crowded room or we're in a queue, we're on the bus, and we're just gazing at someone. We're daydreaming at someone, and then all of a sudden we think, oh my gosh, I've just been staring at someone.
That's Anon staring at the Vikings again.
Vikings, come here, love.
But that, I mean, that is that is really good advice. Really, really good advice. And can I just jump in again and just say, you can do what I would call walk-in meditations or action meditations.
Yes.
You do not need to sit still. You do not need to lay down. You can zone out on the thing that you're doing, and you can still concentrate on, I don't know, how, if you're walking around, how does the sound of your feet sound to you? Or, that, again, it's that gazing thing that Anon was saying, but just through a physical
Yeah, and I've always done it, and I know not everybody runs, but running, I always said, was my meditation because when I'm running, I have to concentrate on my breath. I have to figure out where my feet are going to land. So I'm completely coming out of my head and concentrating on the moment that how I'm feeling, how I'm breathing, how I'm landing my feet. So it's very meditative for me. Not always, because sometimes I'm gasping for air, but it can be. But the only other point I would add, and I don't know if this is always valid, but like smells as well. can be really meditative, like, which is why we have incense, or you can use essential oils and things just to concentrate on the smell. And you know, for me, I like to visualize because I can, like an oak tree or pine, but then also using essential oils that smell like that can help if you can't visualize it, because then you can smell like that tree essence as well. That can be really good.
I think what a lot of people get put off by, especially if they have quite a busy mind, is this idea of your mind has to be quiet and silent. And it's about actually getting to a point where you're accepting, what am I going to have for tea? What is actually that smell? Oh, I don't feel comfortable at the minute. Or what did she say to me last week? Accept those thoughts coming in, acknowledge them, and then bring your focus back on whatever else that you can, whether it be gazing in the distance, whether it be smelling that scent, whether it be, like Vic was discussing, about feeling the actual body and the breath and the materials and the textures around you. It's not about being silent.
If you are trying to do a grounding meditation and you happen to be laying down, instead of the sheets on top of you that you're feeling, maybe just feel yourself sink in to the surface that you're on, but do it up or down your body, or go up your body and then come down your body, and just recognize where your skin, where your, you know, where the weight of you is on the surface that you're at, because that will ground you.
Yeah, my weight definitely grounds me. I can feel it everywhere. Oh, thank you for listening to Between Three Witches, Witchcraft in Plain Sight. Unbelievably, we have come to the end of season 1. So make sure you sign up and follow to hear when we return in just a few short weeks, because we're going to continue with our usual format, but we will be releasing this on video too. So you'll see our beautiful faces, but obviously not the anonymous witch, who will continue to stay in her anonymity. Until next time, may your practice meet you exactly where you are.